on there. Your last name's Elmer, you'll send it from one specific person. And then that person is easy to trace. I don't think I had any sad. I tried. I was like, oh, that would be so wrong. None.
Color guard, hope, left face, present, arms.
So I'm going to keep my introduction real short. I want to thank you to the 103rd anniversary of the USS Olympia bringing home the World War I unknown soldier. And I want to give a special thanks to all the French ambassadors and consuls. And these guys are awesome. I have thoroughly enjoyed meeting them. So making that short and sweet, I want to introduce Terry Chenot, President of the American Society of Les Souvenirs Français, and he is going to kick us off. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Mon Général, it's a great honor to be here today. My name is Thierry Chenot. I'm a Lieutenant Commander Honorary in the French Navy. And it's always a great honor to be on board this historical ship that has accomplished so many great deeds. The mission of the American Society of the Souvenirs Français is to pay tribute, honor the memory of all the French soldiers, sailors, aviators who are buried here in the United States. More than 2,400 of them, between Newport to Yorktown, Savannah, all the places in the American Revolution where the French fought side by side with the Continental Army. And France and the United States share this long history, and it's really a privilege for us to participate in those ceremonies and say thank you. Thank you for everything that has been accomplished here and also in France by the US Army, US Navy, and US Air Force. Before I introduce Mon Général, Général de Kitzbühel, I just wanted to share something very, very personal. Like millions of young French kids, when they go to Paris and they see the unknown soldier under the Arc of Triumph, there's always a great deal of emotion, of course. And I remember I may have been 6 or 7, and I was very impressed. But many, many years ago, when I first came to visited Arlington National Cemetery, and I approached this sacred place, and there was total silence. In Paris, you have a lot of cars that are turning around the Arc of Triumph. Total silence, and I was privileged to see the tomb guards changing guard, and I will never, never forget what I experienced back then. It was years and years ago, and I felt the very same type of emotion, the very same feelings of awe, of respect that are given to these poor soldiers who gave their lives for freedom and democracy. It's my great honor privilege to introduce and present General Vincent de Kitz-Potter, who accepted to be with us today from New York City. Mon général.
Merci, cher Thierry. Thank you so much. Excellencies. You never know. There is always an excellency in here. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, Madame la Consul de France à Philadelphie, Mr. President of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier Foundation, Mr. President du Souvenir Français, également Monsieur le Président des Anciens Combattants Français, qui est présent parmi nous, my dear brothers and sisters in arms. I'm talking also about the reenactment and everyone active duty or not active duty. It is truly a great honor to be here today and such a true privilege to be here with you on board this illustrious USS Olympia. First, let me tell you that our profound bilateral military relationships today find their very roots in the many battles conducted together, shoulder to shoulder, in the trenches of Yorktown, Virginia, in Argonne, in France, in the countryside of Normandy and Alsace regions back in the Second World War. And this epic alliance with your oldest ally goes since 246 years ago, when the first Treaty of Defense was signed on February the 6th, 1778. And since then, believe it or not, but France and the United States have never been at war against each other. As President Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, you cannot find two nations so closely linked by history and mutual friendship than the people of France and the United States of America. Hurrah! When one goes to the Argonne region in France and sees the thousands American First World War graveyards among the poppies, the magnificent Chateau Thierry American monument at Hill 204, I still have goosebumps, believe it or not, but it is so moving. So we think about all those fallen brave American doughboys of the 1st Infantry Division, the Big Red Run, hurrah! The 2nd Infantry Division, Indian Head, the 3rd Infantry Division, Rock of the Marne, the 42nd Infantry Division, Rainbow Division, the 93rd Infantry Division, and the gallant Marines Brigade during the Battle of Belleau Wood, to name but a few. Let us not forget also those brave American soldiers and airmen who came over way before the American Expeditionary Forces were built and deployed on the Western Front. And here I think, of course, about the American Field Service, the American ambulances, and also those reckless and courageous pilots, roughly 200 airmen of the American Lafayette Flying Corps, what a beautiful name, of which 69 were killed in action in the French airspace. So my wife Helen and I, we visited all these American bell monuments in France, and your great-grandfather fought in the First World War, my grandfather fought in the artillery and in the trenches in the First World War, and they fought all these epic battles as the Americans did. So we are so very grateful of this irreplaceable American commitment which saved us from tyranny. We should then pay a particular tribute to the 320,000 First World War American casualties. I say it again, 320,000 American casualties, of which 53,402 killed in action. And 27 years after, back in 1944, this is another thousands Americans, among which 125,000 American killed in action. Just in Normandy. So
I don't know how else to say it, but Miss Patty has been like on point. So everybody here has been awesome. So I'll let you take the stage, Miss Patty.
Good morning. I'm Patty Elliott. I have the honor of serving as the National President for American Gold Star Mothers this year. On today, okay, there we go. Better. Okay. Today, I saw, it seems like every day on the calendar there's this is the National Day of the Donut or something like that. But it wasn't lost on me that today is the National Day of the Deployed. And we are gathered here to remember that sacrifice, that one unknown person, and honor that. As we gather here to remember the conclusion of the Olympia's distinguished military service of bringing home that unknown soldier from World War I, I think we can all feel the weight of what it must have been like to be a family member, wondering the fate of your loved one serving in a foreign land. This final historical act that was so significant for the Olympia situated the sacrifice within a larger and longer history of American military engagements. In December 1920, when the legislation was introduced to provide for that repatriation and interment of one unknown American soldier at a special tomb to be built at Arlington National Cemetery, he would represent all the unidentified and missing American service members from World War I. The purpose of the legislation was to bring home the body of an unknown sailor who typifies the soul of America and the supreme sacrifice of her heroic dead. As a Gold Star mother, my heart weeps for all of those mothers who have walked this journey in the hundreds of years that we have asked our country to sacrifice its sons and daughters. But we appreciate the efforts of our military and our government to give closure, dignity, and honor, and the respect that is deserved by all of our heroes. I stand here for all those mothers who loved and lost before me, and I encourage you to always say their names and remember those sacrifices. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for allowing us to have a small part in this momentous occasion.
Hey, get in here.
Hey.